I'm Shannon Kinney-Duh, creator of A Free Spirit Life. I am an intuitive guide, a holistic life, creativity, and soul coach, an artist, a writer, and a teacher, and you have found my soul tuning series. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the art of listening to your soul and how to recognize when your soul is communicating to you and how to practice listening to that. So welcome, grab your favorite drink, maybe a journal, and let's get to it. Most of our lives, we are guided by our mind, and we think we have all the answers figured out. And then there comes a time when your heart starts to speak a little bit louder and the nudges get stronger and the synchronicities around you start getting more obvious and something awakens within you. And you realize that maybe, just maybe, the mind doesn't have it all figured out. Ooh, we'll talk about that in some future episodes about how that can wreak havoc on our lives. But for now, we are learning and want to practice letting our hearts lead the way. Our mind is an amazing tool. We need it. It's so incredible. We come up with our ideas and our insights, and we get to use our imagination and download new thoughts. We get to remember things, and the mind is that amazing tool, like a computer, where you can process what you're collecting, the data that you're collecting, and how to use it in your life. And then there's the heart. There's the soul. There is the subtleness of this true nature, this inner undercurrent that is here to guide you in life. You might think of it as your intuition. You might think of it as your inner nudges. You might think of it as your inner wisdom. There is this amazing compass within each of us that we are all born with. And I like to think of that compass as our greatest teacher because, man, life is noisy and it's messy and there's so much going on. And there's a lot of pressures that we collect throughout our lifetime. And it's like, how do we even know what our soul is signaling? How do we even know how to discern between when our mind is chatting at us and when our heart is speaking? Well, that's a little bit of what I want to talk about today. So let's tune in. One of the things that we can do to start to get out of the head are things that bring us into the body, things that help us tune in. When you are tuned in and you're grounded and you're in your body, you are less likely to let your mind run the show. You're more present. So one of the greatest things you can do as you practice listening to your soul and tuning in is to slow down. Take some time throughout your day to breathe. I love the simple practice of breathing because we take it wherever we go. We can't really say, the excuse of like, oh, I can't get to breathing today. I'll do it another day. It's like, we can do some breathing now, right? We can take it wherever we go. And when you do some intentional breathing, place one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, just below the belly button. When you start to breathe, even 3 times, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, there I am. It brings you to this moment. And there's nothing more present than your own breath. So one way to start tuning in with your soul and listening throughout the day is to remind yourself to do some intentional breathing. I like to place my hands to the heart. You might even do both hands to the heart. Sometimes when we breathe really shallowly, it helps to put one hand to the belly so you remember to breathe with the diaphragm. And then you'll start to hear and feel that inner wave of your breath. But you don't want to force it. Keep it simple. Just play with breathing. Allow your breath to travel in and out. And when you focus on the inhale and the exhale, it calms and quiets your nervous system. And that's one really beautiful way to get out of your head and to allow your head, your thinking mind, to take a break for a minute. Give it a little vacation. Have it just sit back there while you can be here breathing. So that's one way to start listening. As you practice the breathing and the slowing down, you start to practice becoming a witness to your life, a witness to how you respond and react to things, a witness of your thoughts. When you start becoming a witness and you slow down and you can sit back a little bit, you'll start to watch how your mind works and wants to control the show. The mind is trying to keep you safe, and it doesn't like to be uncomfortable. It wants certainty. But as we're awakening, and as we're going through transformation, and as we're going through great shift in our own lives, we have to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's one of the ways to breathe and move through change is to know that it's temporary, but to know that it's part of the process of expanding and becoming who you're here to be. So we can start to watch the thoughts and remember that we are not the thoughts. And we can watch how they want to control the show until we keep breathing and slowing down and tuning into our heart and listening. And you'll start to notice the difference between when your mind is telling you something and when your heart or your soul is guiding you. The mind can be critical, judgmental. It has a lot of shoulds. It can be hard on yourself. Anytime you feel like you have a lot of rules to live by or a lot of pressure or you feel worry taking over, that's your mind. When you feel more at ease, when you feel a sense of contentment, when you can be gentle and tender with yourself, that's a good sign that your soul is speaking. And that's what you want to listen to. And it's a practice. It's a practice, and it is an art form. So, another tool that I like to use when I am trying to discern between my busy thinking mind and my gentle, open heart is do something that gets me out of my head and into my body. For me, it's walking in nature. When I, especially without a phone, but when I am walking among the trees, when I'm breathing in the fresh air, when I can hear the birds sing, I have a sense of, there I am. And that simply means I have landed. I am in this moment. I am allowing my heart to open. And then I can hear it. I can know what it feels like in my body. And there's these sensations that we have when we are in the present moment, when our soul is speaking. It might be goosebumps or chills. It might be just a relaxation in the physical body. It might be a quiet whisper or a remembering of something. It might be an idea that comes your way or a sign of some kind. It could be a bird crosses your path, or you see a special angel number, or there's a penny on the floor. There are so many ways that we are being guided by our intuition, by our own guides, and by our soul. And a lot of it is learning how to become an observer, to witness, to become aware of your surroundings, slow down a little bit, breathe, and get out of your head. So for me, that might be nature. I love doing anything creative because if I am playing, this is like not critical, like judgment, like, have to make the perfect whatever you're creating thing. This is when you're allowing yourself to play for the fun of it. So that could be gardening. That could be cooking a new meal with all these fresh ingredients. That could be photography or painting or drawing or anything at all. Dancing that gets you in your body, out of your head, and in the moment. So a question to ask your soul is, what is lighting me up right now? What brings me joy? When do I have the most fun? And are you making space for it? Are you making space for it? The mind might tell you, gotta keep working, gotta keep pushing, gotta keep doing. The soul likes spaciousness. The soul will remind you that it's fun to take breaks. It's good to be playful. It's important to your overall health and well-being to be and allow your life and the next moment to unfold without so much pushing and doing and forcing. So start to pay attention to the sensations in your body. How does your soul signal to you? What is it saying? Where do you feel it and when do you feel it? And are you making enough space in your daily life to tune in, to slow down, to breathe, to play, and to listen? Another tool, I should say, that helps me journaling when I just don't know, when I can't make sense of, and my mind is trying to take over, and I just don't know what's going on. I feel cloudy and I feel disconnected and I feel like all these thoughts and ideas are swirling around me. I love the tool of journaling because it gets all of that out and into form in some way. And it's kind of like my way of clearing out my mind. It's like, okay, my journal is going to hold all of those thoughts. I don't know what the heck they mean. My journal is going to hold it for me. And then I can feel more at peace. And I can trust that I don't have to know what any of it means. I just know that I'm giving my soul and I'm giving my heart and I'm giving my mind a place to express itself. And then I might go back to it and maybe it'll make sense to me some other time. But I think it's a great tool in listening because it's giving myself space to honor my self-discovery journey. So I like tools like that just take a moment to show the universe that you're listening and give your soul an opportunity to speak to you and express your true self in some way. The other way, and I'm going to show you this deck of cards because when I was really starting to communicate with my own soul and really get to understand myself in a deeper way, I loved doing it, and I still love doing it through decks of cards because the cards have messages, and it's a really great tool for learning how to read into signs and synchronicities. So this is an affirmation soul deck that I made called Your True Nature. I'll leave the link below. In the cover, it says, "Trust your heart, it knows the way." Yes, it does. And it has 44 cards. Let's shuffle the deck and see, what does our soul right now want to communicate with us? What is the message that our soul has for us today? Let's tune in, shuffle, and ask the deck. And And the card says, like the majestic mountains, I face life's challenges with resilience, stability, and strength. I have red around the card. The red color is connected to the root chakra. The root chakra is connected to the earth. So right away, I look at this and go, ooh, cool. We're building a new foundation. This is getting me in touch with my body. This is getting me in touch with my physical needs, making sure that I'm taking good care of myself. This is getting me in touch with feeling grounded in the moment, being held by Mother Earth, and remembering that any challenge I face, Mother Earth has my back. I am being supported. I am not alone. I am not alone. So let's see. This is card number 5, and I have a book that goes with the deck, and it gives us some ideas on how to tune in and listen to the soul. So the card is resilience. That is the topic here, and it says, like the strength of the mountains, I face life's challenges and courage and grace. Some days I move forward with ease. On other days, I may need to pause, rest, and seek support. I trust that each obstacle is an opportunity for growth. As I lean into my inner wisdom, I find clarity and cultivate hope with each step. I build resilience, adapting confidently to change and transitions. Rooted in my strength, I stand firm, knowing that whatever comes my way, I am prepared, grounded, and ready to rise. So one of the questions for reflection: write about the practices or tools that help you listen to your inner wisdom during times of change. Okay, that's a synchronicity. That is our soul speaking. What are the tools that your soul resonates with when it's trying to speak to you, when you're trying to get really in touch with your next right step, when you need to make a decision based on a gut move, when your intuition is nudging you to make a change, whether in a relationship or in your career or where you live? How do you know that your soul is guiding you? You practice. You find the tools that work for you. It is an art form. Just like you need, if you're going to paint a painting and you need the paint brushes and the paint and the paper and the water and the paper towels, those are your tools for your painting. What are your tools for the art of listening to your soul, for tuning in throughout your day? For me, it might be nature, it might be journaling, it might be the breath. What is it for you? I want to hear from you in the comments. I hope that this was inspiring for you. There is no right way. That's the coolest thing, and that's what we're going to continue to do in this series. We're throwing out all the rules. We don't want to live by those rules anymore, because that is what takes us away from our center. We're taught to look outside of ourselves, but really the soul speaks inside of us. And there is nothing for you to figure out or fix or to look outside of yourself for the answers. You are being guided inside and reminded that everything you need is within you. And we're just learning how to listen and pay attention and make space to tune in every single day. So, my friends, thank you so much for being here and listening. If you liked this episode, if you could like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love hearing from you. If you want to know more about my soul signal sessions and receive a personal audio transmission that is this activation from your soul map, and this energetic attunement that comes with it, check out the link below for more. Be well, keep taking good care of your heart and soul, and I will see you next time.